Twinks are everywhere nowadays, and twinks are defined in the gay world as slim, young adult body types. Usually not too muscular, but definitely skinny. In movies, now we have people like Timothee Chalamet and Tom Holland in leading roles, or in the music world, Troye Sivan or Lil Nas X. But it's not like the twink image has never been popular before. Just think about Greek or Roman art, or even the David statue. So there was this article in the New York Times in 2018 calling it the age of the twink, and the internet lost their minds. I guess some people were upset because they didn't want the term associated with heterosexual people. And then there was a rebuttal to that article in The Atlantic. And now, I'm not here to debate what we can classify as a twink. I personally just think it's a category and a body type. Basically, at the core of both articles, they address the general public awareness of this particular body type reaching mainstream levels that haven't before. And on cinematic terms, the thought of a skinny, scrawny man being a leading person, that is a major change. Decades ago, in the golden age of Hollywood, that standard was much, much different. What was idolized was older and muscular-looking men. Think of the era of Sean Connery, or Kirk Douglas, Steve McQueen. These were sex symbols of the day. Just look at the contrast between this scene from Spartacus and this scene from Dune. While they have similarities, their heroes are very different. Now, in gay cinema, twinks are usually seen in a lot of coming-of-age stories. Maybe we see so much of this body type because there are many coming-of-age films in the LGBT genre. Films like Beach Rats, Love Simon, The Way He Looks, Alex Strangelove, just to name a few, but the list goes on and on. I do appreciate coming-of-age stories, but outside of gay cinema, these types of slender bodies have not always been portrayed as a desirable thing. They were often seen as nerdy, lacking confidence. I think of examples like Jesse Eisenberg in Adventureland, like in this scene of how nervous he is to take off his clothes. Or like in the horror film It Follows, Keir Gilchrist's character is skinny and unwanted from the main character. Being too skinny can also be criticized as being sickly or skeleton-like. Not that I'm a big fan of Marvel, but I'm aware of Captain America in this scene and how he is seen as weak like this, until something happens and he gets muscles and looks like Chris Evans. But now, things are changing in the mainstream. While a lot of gay movies do have twinks in them, there are of course many that don't. Films like Pit Stop, the Looking series featured some. Films like Supernova feature older gay men, or Love is Strange. I say, the more diversity of body types of gay people, the better. I mean, ultimately, I think all of this labeling of body types is really silly, and I don't really take it that seriously. But human beings love labels and they love boxes. And in terms of LGBT cinema, I think there's definitely a lot of room for improvement to show a bigger spectrum of bodies on the screen. That's great about nowadays is that that conversation is being open. There's more examples of that, different types of gay people being shown on the screen, so that's definitely a positive improvement. Now, on a frivolous note, I've just always wondered, like, where do old twinks go? I mean, we all know where, otters can turn into bears, but like, what happens to old twinks? Like, I've always wondered, Hello, friend. Where am I? This is Twink Island. It's where old twinks go to die.
What?
It's been happening since the dawn of man. But I'm not old.